Connecting. She's so loud when she
It's
tells
so
us
loud, yeah.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Mind Muscle Unleashed. I'm Chris, joined by Sal.
Hey guys.
How are you, Sal?
Yeah, good. Nothing to really complain about this end. Been a pretty steady week, so yeah, doing good.
Yeah, I'm
You?
alive. Just
You're alive, just. You sound a little
oh
bit better, but still.
no, I feel significantly better. We've had a challenging couple of weeks here. The whole household, one by one, came down with influenza B. So Madison went first, and I think Sebi followed behind, and then I was all smug thinking that I got a very mild version of it, and I was ahead of the game and got on the Tamiflu as soon as I got symptoms and whatnot. And yeah, on Friday when we did our podcast, like I said to you at the end of it, I was just like, I am absolutely drenched in sweat. Like I was just literally sitting there doing the podcast, and yeah, and then sort of got through the weekend. Sebi was quite unwell on the Saturday, so they didn't go to their dad's house on the Saturday night. I was even able to teach on Monday. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but I still was able to teach. And then Tuesday woke up okay, not great. And then, like, literally halfway through the day on Tuesday, it hit me. And let's just say I didn't have a mild version of it. It was bloody nasty. I don't know if you've had influenza B before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've had it before. I know I've had influenza A, and that
Yeah.
was pretty horrible. And I think influenza A is meant to be worse than influenza B, but
Yeah, I think it is actually, yeah.
B was pretty freaking nasty. Like, yeah, and even sort of Maddie, like last night was probably the first good night's sleep the household has had in 2 weeks.
Wow. Yeah.
Except I got a phone call at 3 a.m. from the alarm company.
Oh, lovely. Love that.
Yeah. So someone was just in the bathrooms for a little bit too long and the system armed, and then they walked out of the bathroom. So I won't lie, at 3 a.m. when I got that call, I was just like, are you shitting me? Like, this is not fair. I actually
one night.
said, this is not fair. Like, the universe is out to stop me from sleeping, I'm sure. But thank goodness, I'm just getting a bit hot here. Woke up this morning and actually feeling like a big improvement. How am I going to do this? Just give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
It's like trying to take layers off once you've got the microphone on when you're teaching group fitness. It's virtually impossible. And then you end up necking yourself with the microphone cord. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I woke up this morning. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting because like last stages of prep.
Yeah, exciting.
And I've gone through a few challenges in this prep. I think on Monday I said to you, I'm actually a little bit sick of being resilient. I'm sick of obstacles, but
Yeah.
you know, we keep on keeping on. And yeah, but what day was it? I think it was Thursday. I can't remember. Do you know what? It's been a blur.
Yeah, all right
But
into one.
I actually, sent a message to my coach and I said, look, I'm not trying to be negative here, but at what point do we start thinking about maybe changing the plan? Because I thought, like, the way I was feeling next Saturday is comp number one, and it's not that I was wanting to give up. Like,
Yeah.
there's a difference, I think, between giving up and being realistic.
Yeah,
And
100%.
you know, I was like, okay, so at what point do we need to like call it? Because I was feeling, as I said to you, like really anxious. Like I was running out of time. I felt like, you know, I was still a long way off. not lean enough, all of those, not ready, all of those things. So I actually said to coach, yeah, it was Thursday when I did my check-in, like, you know, when do we come to a time when we start thinking about, do we change the plan? So yeah, he said, let's see how you're feeling Sunday. And we had a plan B, maybe to look at not doing the first one, maybe looking at season B, and then we'll sort of go from there. I did my check-in photos on Thursday and was actually a little bit surprised because by not pounding my legs, a bit of inflammation had gone out of my legs and they were looking quite different.
Incredible.
And then I have woken up this morning again feeling like 50% better, I'd say. And my legs look different again. So yeah, we've come to the decision that as long as I'm feeling good on Sunday, we're gonna kick off peak week on Monday and screw it, we're going for it. So
Awesome.
at this stage, I am competing on Saturday next week. So
That's exciting. Now, look, it's been a bit of a journey for you, and it'd be so normal to have all those thoughts that you were having going through your head, being so close and feeling the way you felt with that sickness. So it's totally
yeah. And do you know what? Like my coach actually said to me, goes like, for all the challenges that you faced, like you've not once said that you're going to give up, and this is like probably the first little inkling of you maybe thinking that it might not happen. So, you know, I think I've done all right.
Yeah, no, it's that stuff we talk about, isn't it? That framework and that mindset and that self-talk where you just have to sometimes, you've been in hard places before and you know deep down that, yep, when to be realistic and when not to push it anymore. But
Yeah. And you know, like, you know how we were talking the other week about, still pushing through and still forcing yourself to train, and even when you knew you should be resting and yada yada. Like, to be fair, I wasn't 100%, but I was still like doing my walking, and I still taught on Monday, and I did like a modified strength session. But in all honesty, like, I didn't feel too bad and I was listening to my body. But Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, even today, like, I'm resting. Like, even
yeah,
though I know that I've got a comp next Saturday, like, I'm not being stupid about it and I'm
yeah,
resting. So, um, like, I definitely would not have been able to do that like 10 years ago. Like, I would have
yeah.
just kept pushing through and probably ended up like in a way worse position than what I am now.
And that just shows your growth, like, the growth that you've done internally with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, peak week is incoming for me, and step on stage next Saturday for my first comp. So
Excited.
yeah, I'm considering taking a little bit of pressure off, like not giving up, but I had 5 comps lined up. So I had NBA first, like state titles, and then it was ENP, then ICN state show, then NBA nationals, and ICN nationals. I'm thinking about taking a bit of pressure off myself and not doing ENP.
Yeah.
I haven't entered, but with ENP, there's like a routine, a 60-second routine that you have to do, which I've just not had the capacity to be able to focus on. And I think it's just going to cause me more stress than anything.
Yeah.
Even though I've been stuck at home, like, yesterday was probably the first day that I was allowed to leave a certain small person's side for more than 10 seconds. And I'm not saying the name because it's on the couch. And if I acknowledge him, then he will be here on top of me.
Oh, the life.
Oh, mate. Like,
I'm not
okay.
laughing at you because I know how you feel.
I love them dearly. I love them so much. But I swear, if he could have gone back up there over this last week, he would have.
Well, thank God they can't.
Like the
Yeah, I
amount of
get it.
times, where I've gone to go to the toilet and I'm on the toilet, Mom, where are you? And I'm like, dude, I'm literally on the toilet. Like I am 5 meters away from you.
Oh, I get it. I'm on the toilet. It's like, Mum, can I
Oh,
have a kiss and a cuddle? I'm like, I'm kind of like trying to do
the
my business
umbilical
here.
cord was reattached this week. And, I love, of course, everyone loves to be told that they're loved, but yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah. So
imagine.
anyway, I'm thinking that I'll probably not do
Yeah.
E&P, which means I don't need to worry about that routine. But
Yeah.
I'm not making the call yet. I'm just taking that pressure off, but knowing that it's an option, so I don't need to feel anxiety around this routine. So
No, that's really good. That's really
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's all I've got right now. Have you?
Yeah, look, yeah, like I said, mine was very straightforward. Not a lot happened over in this end. Same thing, just a very clingy child, which is
Mm,
most of our days. But apart from that, I can't really complain. I've had a pretty crazy week, so it's been good.
nice. So we hadn't quite finished talking about. Oh, do you know what we forgot to do? Thank our sponsors.
Oh, yes.
So
Let's do
thank
that
you,
first.
Kojo Coffee, Burnwood
And
Salisbury.
Salisbury.
I've gone 2 weeks without my Kojo coffee, and oh my gosh, it's. Oh, and do you know what also happened?
Uh-oh.
My
Tell me.
microwave broke.
Oh,
Now I don't use
that's
my microwave much, but I use my microwave to warm up my coffee 20 times because we know what mum. See, this is the thing, right? Mum life, okay? You reheat your coffee multiple times because cold coffee, unless it's like a proper iced coffee and I've chosen to have a cold coffee, I don't do cold coffee.
no, I can't
I
either.
don't do it. But you know what it's like. You reheat your coffee multiple times because mum life. And I can't at the moment because of my microwave. And also, my morning routine is I warm up my wheat bag and I sit with my wheat bag on my back to drink my warm coffee.
Yeah, so none of that's happening. Yeah, nah. And when it's part of your routine, it really messes with your chi, I think. Like,
And I'm that person because I live a very simple life. I'm a bit of a minimalist, and I'm that person who buys the $50 microwave from Big W or Kmart. The
yep.
Anko one. Yep. And I even held on to that for ages when I got this new microwave, and I literally only in just the last month put it out the front with a sign on it saying this works perfectly fine, and someone took it. So life regrets. But I finally went, do you know what? I'm going to splurge and get like a decent, good LG microwave. And it died within 12 months.
Just shows though, sometimes I had the same thing with an air fryer. I brought expensive, Smith and Noble one, and I had to take it back 3 times. I brought a Kmart one, and it's done not stuffed up once.
Yeah. So it's an ornament for me at the moment. And
Lovely.
my pride is not allowing me to go and get another one. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to get a hot water bottle.
It's the best.
Because I like the principle of it. So it's just sitting on my bench, and I have to get my head around whether or not I'm going to actually do something about it. So
Your nickname is Beeb
anyway,
now. Anyway.
let's continue on with our self-talk because we did cover a fair bit of it.
We
But
did,
me
yeah.
being me, when you said, "Oh, let's continue on," I was like, "Oh, I thought we'd covered the awareness," but no, we had not. Like I just wrapped it up and moved on. But you've got more therapist-ish stuff that you wanted to expand on, so I'm actually keen to hear what you've got to say on it as well. So Yeah.
Awesome. Now, so I think the only 2 points that we haven't really covered in the awareness stage of our self-talk. Number one is we've spoken a lot about how we need to acknowledge our negative self-talk, but acknowledging the positive is just as important, because if we pick the points that we're doing that are working well or we're doing right, that builds on what's working and it gives you that momentum. So like anything, you keep doing something, it becomes habit. If you keep acknowledging those positive things, it becomes a habit. So when you get a negative, your brain automatically starts to say, hey, this is not what I've been also recognizing. Which one is more healthier for me to recognize? And as we know, our brains are powerful. So you start to challenge yourself automatically at which thought you're going to actually let in. And that's the point we want to do. So whilst we want to acknowledge, yep, the negative, that was a negative comment I said, blah, 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 we need to acknowledge the positive. So that's a really, really big point to remember, I think.
So like, you'd see people that you help out and that you talk to, and I know that I do that negative self-talk like over and over again. And we talked about how the subconscious will eventually believe that it's true, regardless of, you know, what it is, whether it is true or whether it isn't. And if you say something negative enough times, that, like your subconscious will believe it.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, like, you know, a lot of the people who are listening and a lot of the people who that we encounter, are you gonna
Quickly
don't
do
mess
the jumper
yourself?
swap.
A lot of the people that we encounter have been engaging in this negative self-talk without being aware of it, but without being aware of its impacts for, like, we're talking 20, 30, 40 years that they've been like engaging in this negative self-talk for. So like it's so deeply ingrained. Like realistically, like if someone, has then just started to become aware of the fact that they're engaging in this negative self-talk and aware of the fact that it is so damaging, like realistically, how long would it take somebody to start turning this around, to start changing those things and reframing those things? Like realistically, how long is this going to take someone?
Months. So it can be anywhere from months to years. What it depends on is how much you really, really apply to that. So we can say we might get a positive thought like, I did great today, but do you really believe that? I could sit here and say, hey, I had a great week training. Do I really believe it? This week, yes, I actually do, because from going from not really eating and having a bit less energy, I actually didn't drop much in my weight or my reps. Now, not only do I believe that to my core that I done my best, but again, what evidence do I have to say that I did my best? There you go. I didn't really drop in my reps and I didn't drop in my weights. So there is again evidence supporting that it was still a good week. It might not have
Yeah.
been my best, but it was still a good week. So it's about, again, getting out of that cycle and actually saying to yourself, okay, giving it a what evidence do I have to say that that's true? And a big thing in in changing this to get to the reframing stage is giving your negative thoughts a name. So it's all good to have negative thoughts, but by giving them a name, we're making it a bit more, I guess. So just say, okay, why am I stressed? And then you would say, okay, Sally, I would say to myself, Sally, you've dealt with things like this before. You've got this. And it creates that psychological distance between what I'm thinking and what's true. And it allows you to think a bit more clearly and calmly. And it's exactly if you were coaching a friend, you would treat it that way with them. So name that thing, name that negative self-talk. Sally, Chris, give it a name, because giving it a name actually creates so much distance than it just being a thought.
And I think, do you know what? I think it's like training as well, because like as you're talking, as we're thinking here and whatnot, like it's, you know, there's so many people that say, I've tried everything and nothing's worked, right? But the thing is, just trying everything and nothing working isn't going to get you anywhere, because it's not about just trying it and trying it for a short period of time.
Yeah.
It's about consistently doing it over and over and over and over again for a long period of time, and understanding, like, you know, I think it's so similar to training, changing like these thought patterns, because, you know, if we start going to the gym and we start working out and we start eating well and we do that for a week, like, big fucking whoopsies. Do you know what I
You're not
mean?
going to see much
Like,
changes in
you're
that
not going
week.
to change in a week, excuse
Yeah.
my language. You do it for 2 weeks. Yay, awesome. You do it for 3 weeks. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You do it for 4 weeks. Definitely getting somewhere. You do it for 4 months. Awesome. But you know what? Even after 4 months, if you fall off the wagon and you go back to what you were doing before, you'll go back to what you were doing before. And, you know, I hear people all the time saying, you know, oh, yeah, I tried that. It didn't work for me. I tried that. It didn't work for me. I tried that. It didn't work for me. And one of the things that, you know, I have experience with people is, like, even when I'm talking about gratitude, right?
Yeah.
Gratitude, or changing the way that you speak about yourself, being mindful, being aware of these negative thoughts, you know, stopping the smack talk. And people saying, you know, I tried that. And the thing is, like, did you actually try? Did you actually do the thing? Did you do the thing consistently? Did you do it even on the hard days? Did you do it on the easy days? Did you do it on the days when it was raining? Did you do it on the days when it was windy? Like, it's not something that you just do it one time, 1 week, 1 month, and, you know, it's going to be sunshine and lollipops for the rest of your freaking life. Like, it's, you just got to keep doing it consistently, right?
Oh, 100%. And this is a common thing I see with my clients is, they start therapy and then they come back, it's not working. And I say, okay, well, answer me honestly. And if you choose to not answer me honestly, you're only putting yourself backwards, not me. I'm here to help you, and I can suggest tools, but if you don't actually apply them, what I give you is not going to work. So I say, answer me honestly, have you done it consistently? And 9 times out of 10, I'll know when they haven't, because they'll pause, like, okay, is this a trick question? Or they think, hang on. And I know in that moment that they haven't. So,
Yeah.
and they're only letting
And they
themselves
know.
down. Yeah, they know. And that's the thing is, the way I explain this to a lot of my clients this way is, I like to think of our mind as, like, there's different metaphors you can use. I like to say as a playlist. Some people say sunglasses, with the colors and stuff in them. But I say as a playlist. Now, if you've got a playlist on your phone and it's sad songs and depressing songs, you are going to feel depressed and sad 90% of the time, because that's what you're listening to. That's what you're taking in. If you're listening to upbeat, positive music or podcast, that's what you are going to feel, because that's what you're bringing into your mind. So whether it's a playlist or a pair of sunnies, you got a pair of sunnies that have got dark blue, they're kind of sad, like, dark color. You got a pair that have got the bright yellow, they're fun, they're vibrant. That's how your mind is. And I say, look at it like that, either a playlist or a pair of sunnies, because you can have someone, and we know the people, and I'm sure everyone out there knows someone, when we say we've got that one person who's negative constantly, and no matter what you do, how much you help them, God forbid, I've had that argument this week, no matter how much you help them, they're always going to be negative. And it's a point like that. Like this week, I've helped this person religiously for the last 4 weeks, nearly every day.
Mhm.
The other morning, I just needed some time for myself and my children. I wasn't feeling great myself.
Mhm.
I too am a counselor, yes, but I have emotions. And I said to her, I just said, look, I'm a bit busy right now. I will reply after. And her response was, well, thanks for being the counselor that you're meant to be. I was just I paused because I was like, you know what? You have a right to feel that way, but that's not how I see it. So it's about if someone's going to be negative and they're going to stay in that mindset, there is only so much we can do. You
Mm,
have to want to change yourself. You
mm.
have to want that change for yourself. You could do therapy till the cows come home, but if you don't want that change for yourself, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So you've got to be ready to change,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and starting to employ all of these techniques if you're not even quite ready to change and get out of that negative mindset, it's going to be a moot point, right?
Yeah, it's just going to take twice as long. And then, you've already got that thing, oh, it didn't work last time. Well, then maybe you're not ready for that change. And you need
Mm.
to be honest with yourself and say, am I ready for this?
And
Because
that's
it's not
okay because
pretty.
it's not pretty and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of
Hmm.
work being self-aware and being mindful of what you're saying about yourself, and having that wake up call. Like it's pretty heavy.
100%. And yeah, like you said,
Mm,
if you're not ready, that is okay.
mhm,
Been times when we're all not ready for things, and that's okay. It doesn't have to happen now, but still be aware of those little things. But when you are actually ready, that's when you want to start like giving those thoughts a name and actually putting those tools into place. So our emotions are tools. We just need to learn how to use them.
mm. Yeah,
They're actually tools, and our mind is a tool. Our emotions are a tool. Our feelings are a tool. We have to learn how to use them correctly.
yeah,
If you
yeah,
know that, that's what makes the cycle easier to break.
yeah, yeah.
And we've covered a lot of those strategies. And I mean, there's
Mhm.
so much resources out there to help with strategies and stuff, but consistently try it, make sure you're ready, give it a name, introduce those positive thoughts as well. And they're all the things that are going to work for you.
Yeah. And judgment free too.
Yeah.
Like, when you start this journey of being aware of what you're saying and aware of like that self talk, making that decision to lose the judgment as well, because you are going to have slip ups and you
Yeah.
are going to have times when that voice comes into your head, and what are you doing? Okay. Anyway, where that negative voice starts to creep in, and it's really important to not then beat yourself up, because it's always a process, it's always learning, and it's not just it's going to be fixed, done, dusted, move on to the next thing. So it's about like non-judgmental from day dot till the end, and
Yeah.
when those thoughts do creep in, like not being like, oh God, I'm doing it again, I'm such an idiot, rah, 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 rah. But, being okay with the fact that you are going to have slip ups, you are going to say that negative shit from time to time, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that it hasn't worked. It
Yeah.
just means that you've had a little slip up, and that's okay. But I think
100%.
being just being more aware of it, and knowing that you do have the control to reframe, you do have the control to be aware, you do have the control to change the narrative, like,
Yeah.
is such a huge power.
And I think the big point here is remembering that we're not trying to stop that from coming in. We're not
Mhm.
trying to stop that because they're always going to come in. We're trying to acknowledge them when they do and pause on how we respond. And another way to navigate them is once you know, okay, yep, I've got one, just break it down, journal it. And when I say journal it, I mean ask yourself, what happened? Why
Mhm.
do I feel this way? what can I learn from it, and what are my next steps? If you can do that with a negative thought, and I know like people are probably thinking, I don't have the time to do that every time I get a negative thought. What I'm
It takes 2
saying,
seconds, though. It takes
it
2 seconds.
it takes 2 seconds, and seriously, that will come one after the other. Okay, what just happened? This happened. Why do I feel this way? Well, this is why, and that's valued. Okay, what can I learn from it? Okay, maybe next time I can approach it this way. And my next steps, okay, now I'm going to do, it's not even a minute, and you've deciphered that, but just by breaking it down, you already put distance between that actual emotion, the thought and the emotion and feeling. So
Yeah. And it's just like that. I really love, I think you said it in the first one that we talked about, self-talk. I love what evidence do I have to support that this is true? Like,
yeah, and that's a big thing.
To go through that process, like, so this negative thought comes in. What evidence do I have to support this?
Yeah.
I don't have sufficient evidence.
And look, I'm going to use you as my example here. I hope you don't mind, but
Go
when you're
for it.
like, I kind of don't know if we're going to go for the first comp, but then what evidence do you have? Nothing, because look at your photos that you've just your photo from today. Oh my God, woman, it's insane. Like,
which no one's seen. I'm kind of keeping it under wraps now.
I've seen it. Sorry. But do you know what I mean? But that's there is what evidence do you have? The evidence you have is to say, look at you. Look at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's your proof.
My negative self-talk was that I'm not ready. Do you know what? Like, I was there and I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not conditioned enough. I haven't worked hard enough. I haven't given it my all. I haven't, and yeah, I was in that headspace like when I was sick. And then, okay, what evidence do I have to support what I'm saying? And if I thought about it, okay, well, I don't really have any evidence to support those things.
Yeah.
But I can go into my Kahuna's app. I can go through all of my weekly check-ins. I can see that I've hit my macros. I can go in and see that I've hit all my numbers when I've been training, except for when I started to really get lean. And this another thing that it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but often female physique athletes, when they get to a certain point of leanness, they will lose their cycle. I lost my cycle. Like, obviously I'm fucking lean, right? And then when I took the photos and realized that a lot of it was just inflammation in my legs, and I'm looking at my physique, I'm like, okay, so not only do I not have evidence to support the negative self-talk, I've got this pile of evidence that's telling me the contrary.
And if
The
you were to
absolute
journal
opposite.
through that, you've already explained that journaling process that I just explained in that. So what happened? You got sick. Why'd you feel that way? Because you got sick, so your body was telling you it needed rest. What can you learn from it? To let your body do the healing. And what are your next steps? Let's see what happens Sunday. You've just journaled that within, without even knowing it. So that's what I'm saying is these things happen consciously. We just need to do them unconsciously. We just need to do them consciously.
Yeah.
So it becomes that habit. So point right
and
there.
we all slip up.
Yeah,
like I've done it this
100%.
week, and I have worked so flipping hard on myself to change the narrative. And you know what? Like, I don't look in the mirror anymore and go, you're fat, you're ugly, you're useless, you're a shit person, which I used to say all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But I still have the capacity to negatively self-talk. It just looks different. But, again, that awareness.
And that's all it is awareness.
5 minutes, bub.
And by going through everything that we've kind of spoke about, and
wait
it's
5 minutes,
good
please.
people can go back over these podcasts to listen. And I post a lot of stuff on our Instagram page about these things. It's just doing it consistently and implementing it.
Yeah.
And I can sit here and say that, and you might think in that moment, oh yeah, you can sit there and say that. It's easier said than done. I'm human too, and I go through
We
these
are
things. I
human.
know how hard it is.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But I promise you, as a therapist, I know the other side too. So
yeah.
yeah.
Guess what? We're past 30 minutes.
Well, that's awareness wrapped up anyway. We've got it.
We got there. Awareness.
Well done, everybody.
4 goes. 1 second. Yes, mate. Go for it, buddy. Super important stuff. Can I get my pillow? All right. Well, what's ahead for you this week, Sal?
This week. Not really a lot. I've got another cruisy week coming, so just training, same old, really. It's actually not a busy week for me. So yeah, not a lot really. Not a lot. I think it froze on me.
Cutting out. Hang on a sec. I don't know if it recorded that.
Yeah, not a lot for me this week. Pretty cruisy week for me this week. Yep.
Just wait a minute, please. It's in my bedroom because you are literally glued to my side and you sleep in my room, sweetheart. Well, that's me done. I've got peak weekend coming, and yeah, I'll give everyone an update on that next week.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Make sure you share this, guys, because if there's someone else in your life that you think this might help, please share it and jump on, subscribe, comment on the YouTube videos, and yeah, I think my time is up.
And get tickets to her show.
Oh yeah, tickets. NBA natural bodybuilding comp next week. It's at the Brighton Performing Arts Centre. We'll share the link on Mind and Muscle Unleashed, but come along. I would love more people there. Support the federation because the guys that run NBA are absolute freaking champions. And come along. And Kojo Coffee will be there, so you can come and get a coffee as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No,
all right,
awesome.
Sal. All right. I've got to go. Very important job. I've got to go and find
that pillow. Have fun with that. See you later, guys.
All right. Let's stop recording.